So we start, dear colleagues. God bless. Right. Thank you, Parimal sir, for joining again. Right. Saili Parekh is an entrepreneur. She is manager for onboarding MSME and large corporates to the platform of RikuzaCapital.com. She has taken a class also on Menon Mantras. So it's basically into trade finance off balance sheet item. So you have to export, they will immediately pay you up. Recovery is their headache. You get funded at LIBOR plus 0.25%. That video is already there on Menon Mantras. By the way, Menon Mantras is just put so that you can associate with some name. I'm fine with changing into any name. It's just that it came up as Menon Mantras. Okay, so, but please do watch the videos. Extremely important, whichever you like. So anybody who is interested in exporting and is looking for financing, this could be one of the good options. Thank you, Saili, for contributing and then saying, put my company's name. This is what we call as an intrapreneur. Okay, and these are the bosses. These are the colleagues who have done this entire thing. Mr. Piyush Gupta, I've not met them, and Mr. Sankalp Kumar. But something unique, right? Please do check out their website. Right, here it is. You could talk to Saili. Saili is on the Telegram, right? Saili is on the Telegram also. Please do contact her. They are looking for business. Yes, most important slide. We will continue into season 3 because this movement has to go on. Okay, as long as we have topics, as long as we have colleagues like Harish Menon sir, respected Parimal Marchant sir, things will go on. Okay, so this is extremely important. Please contribute. Please contribute. Right? Please contribute. That's all I'm requesting. Be a sponsor. It helps. Right? It helps. Okay, here are my two sisters, Rajshi Sai and Ashlesha. Great job. And I again thank Simar for bringing me out. Business is money from the Guru himself. So one thing about Parimal sir, when sir is sharing the screen, I want to say many colleagues come back and say, sir does not give solutions. And I asked this to sir once, sir, why don't you give straight answers to students? And then he told me something. He said, as Guru, we are supposed to show them the path. They are supposed to decide. That is the role of a Guru. Show them alternatives. Final decision is of the businessman. Welcome to the Guru of Family Managed Business, Dr. Parimal Marchant. The topic today, our special request is business is money. Over to you, sir.
Okay, so Anil sir has been already talking about money a lot, and now he wants me to take a session. अभी वो बोलेंगे तो करना तो पड़ेगा. In GFMB, we have a basic program architecture. It starts like this. First rule in life is what is business? दूसरों के पॉकेट से मेरे पॉकेट में पैसा ट्रांसफर करना. That is called business. Now, the other person should give us खुशी, happily देना चाहिए. जबरदस्ती तो कर नहीं सकते. We can't show a gun. So why will anybody give money? People will give money only if you are solving some problem. दूसरों का दुख दूर करने में अपना कल्याण है. दूसरों का दुख दूर करने में अपना कल्याण है. Now, किसका दुख दूर कर रहे हैं? That is called customer. So the first principle about business is customer. Now, once customer से तो बात कर ली, उसने order भी दे दिया. Then comes the second step. You have to execute the order. So business is customer, business is execution, operation. Who will do all this? Alone can't do much. Need people. So understand people, how to do it, all this aspect. Business is people. Business is customer, business is execution, business is people. Now with all this, if the business is not making money, howsoever rich you are, a leaking boat will sink one day or another. So business has to make money. So business is customer, business is execution, business is people, and business is money. These are 4 pillars for any business. Any one of the pillar bad, weak, the structure is going to collapse. एक फुटपाथ पे सब्जी बेचता है या रिलायंस रिफाइनरी है, both need these 4 pillars clarity. Every business need this 4 pillars strong. Any one pillar weak, business gone. So that is how GFMB program is designed over these 4, and there are many more things. But coming back to this 4th pillar, business is money. We may talk about all the philosophy and innovation and customer delight and all. Ultimately, agar paisa nahi banta hai na, so it makes no sense. But money, we have to understand well. And over the years, I have seen that this is one of the most misunderstood subject. Now, there are many parts of business is money. Today, I'm going to discuss only one part. There's a story of 4 or 5 years ago. एक हमारा alumni उसे रोड पे मिल गया after 10-12 years. Very badly dressed, depressed. Something, you can see unshaven and all, very depressed. I said, hello, sir, अच्छा हुआ आप मिल गए. क्या हुआ? सर, बड़ा गलती हो गया. क्या हुआ है? सर पे बड़ा कर्जा है. Now he said this. I thought this is not the point to speak anywhere. I said, let's come sit in a cabin. ऑफिस में बैठ के बात करते हैं. मेरे को समझा क्या हुआ. सर, मेरे सर पे 8 crore का कर्जा है. Now 8 crore, is it a big amount or a small amount? Now, for a business which is making a profit of 10 crore a year, 8 crore borrowing is nothing. But a business which is doing a sale of 1 crore, 8 crore may be very big. So 8 crore by itself is not big or less. It is in relation to something. So I asked him, चलो तुम मेरे को बताते जाओ, ये तुमने कब borrow किया, क्यों borrow किया, ये पैसे का क्या किया? So he went on showing me, he borrowed this amount, 2 crore. So at that time, the chief minister of that state was giving away some land for education purpose. So with that 2 crore, he bought the land. Then with another 6 crore, he made a building on this. So now it is a big 2 lakh square feet building. So now I said, okay, so you borrowed this 8 crore. Now what is the value of this land and building today? He says 24 crore. So I said, तुझे problem क्या है? सर पे कर्जा है. But सामने asset भी तो है. Sir, you mean to say there is no problem? I said, according to me, तुमने तो बहुत बढ़िया business किया. You borrowed 8 crores and created a wealth of 24 crores. It's a brilliant business. But sir, कर्जा. Now, here is the point. इसको कर्जे के बारे में इतना शायद मालूम होगा नहीं होगा. मेरे हिसाब से तो मोस्टली ज्यादा लोगों को मालूम ही नहीं होता है. The word कर्जा seems to be very, very negative. But anyway, he was living comfortably and all. एक दिन उनके घर पे ससुर आए थे. सब फंक्शन था, फैमिली फंक्शन था. So everybody was there, happy, delighted, joy, मजाक मस्ती चल रहा था. तभी इसके पर फोन आया. इसने फोन उठाया. हेलो. अभी सामने वाले ने कुछ बोला. You don't know what? I don't know anything. मुझे कल पैसा चाहिए. सामने वाले ने कुछ बोला. इसका टेम्परेचर, इसका वॉल्यूम थोड़ा बढ़ गया. मैंने तुमको 15 दिन से बोल के रखा था, कल मुझे चाहिए, मतलब कल मुझे चाहिए. अभी सामने वाले ने कुछ बोला. He got even annoyed. I don't want to listen anything. ये blah 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 कुछ बोला और फोन रख दिया. अभी उनके ससुरवाल थे. He was watching all this drama. क्या हुआ? कुछ नहीं, ये लोग पहले से बोल के रखा था लेकिन अभी बोल रहा है बाद में देगा. लेकिन हुआ क्या? He was to give me money tomorrow. Now he tells me after 1 week. तो क्या हुआ? अरे कल मेरा EMI है. EMI है कल. कितने का EMI? He said 20 lakhs. 20 lakhs. Father-in-law थोड़े शॉक हो गए. And the next question, तो कर्जा कितना है? 8 करोड़. 8 करोड़ खुर्सी से 8 इंच ऊपर. And totally disturbed and whatever it is, and I started strolling here and there. आजकल के लड़के समझते क्या है, ये करते वो करते. So much disturbed. इसलिए अभी इधर कुछ मैं बैठ नहीं सकता हूँ. And he left the home. The point was he left. He went. लेकिन लड़की को छोड़ के गए थे ना, इसकी वाइफ. बस अब इसका रोज का चालू. आप तो कर्जा करते रहते हो, हम लोगों का कभी सोचा है हमारा क्या होगा, ये होगा वो होगा. Now nobody understand कर्जा. लेकिन बस कोरोना जैसा ना, कोरोना के बारे में भी किसको कितना मालूम है, लेकिन कोरोना बढ़ आ गया तो सबका टेंशन अप. तो कर्जे से भी सबका टेंशन अप. अभी वैसे तो कोरोना क्या है ना, जब तक पता नहीं है ना तब तक कुछ नहीं होता है. लेकिन जब बार बार सुनते हो ना तो सर पे डिप्रेशन आ जाता है. बस ये लड़के का भी ऐसा था, बार बार ये टेंशन, इतना कर्जा कर दिया, इतना कर्जा कर दिया, इतना कर्जा कर दिया. अभी एक्चुअल में क्या हुआ था, उसके जो ससुर थे वो जब छोटे थे तभी उनके अंकल ने 1 करोड़ कर्जा लिया था और सट्टे में लगाया था. सट्टा फ्लॉप हो गया, अंकल बर्बाद हो गया. इन्होंने वो देखा था. अभी देखिए सिंपल हिसाब है, जब 1 करोड़ में आदमी एक बार बर्बाद हो सकता है तो 8 करोड़ में कितनी बार होगा? 8 बार बर्बाद होगा. अरे बर्बाद हो तो हो, लेकिन मेरी बेटी उधर है. तो वही फादर इन लॉ का टेंशन था. अभी ये जो सवाल है कि कर्जा है तो सामने एसेट है, एसेट दे दो, कर्जा दे दो, क्या इतना टेंशन है? बट व्हेन वी सी कर्जा ओनली इन आइसोलेशन, that is where is the serious problem starts. अभी जब मैंने उसको बोला, देख तेरा 8 करोड़ का कर्जा है, 24 करोड़ का एसेट है, तेरे पास में तो कुछ पैसा नहीं था, इसमें से तूने जो इतना अच्छा बनाया, you had nothing, and with this, if you have made this so much, you have done a brilliant business. So, sir, there is no problem. I said, there is no problem. You are doing very well. Okay, sir, एक चीज बताओ. Tell me one thing. मैं EMI कैसे भरूं? How will I pay EMI? These are money as in 24 crore worth assets. But every month I have to pay EMI. Now, these assets are not generating money every month and I have to pay every month. So how do I pay? मैंने उसको बोला, दूसरे से लेके EMI दे दे. Take from somebody else and pay EMI. And he was shocked. एक तो कर्जा, borrowing is a very, very negative word. But this one, which I am going to tell, is even more shock. So much shock. He says, sir, aap bhi. Sir, you also are saying like this. I said, what? You are telling that I borrow from one person to repay the other person. Yes. Sir, इसको तो टोपी फिराना बोलते हैं. This is something called taking one and paying another and then borrowing from another and paying another. Topi phirana. And when the moment you use this word, it means another big connotation. This is called power of words. Then I had to explain him. When you repay one lender and for that if you borrow from another lender, as long as your borrowing remains same, actually speaking, it makes no difference. So he had in his mind, Karja, I helped him to relate to assets created. Second, he had in mind the word Topi Phirana, borrowing from one to repay another is crime. I had to help him now. So then I explained him, this is not called Topi Phirana. This is called restructuring debt portfolio. If my debt is 8 crore, if Mr. X wants 20 lakhs more, okay, back. Okay, I will take from Mr. Y and pay Mr. X. My portfolio remains 8 crore. Now, this idea that understanding that as long as your total debt remains same and your total asset value is same, then there is nothing wrong. Now, point number 3. Still, if you are so much nervous, sell the property and repay the loan. No, sir, I will not do that. Why? Sir, it is appreciated and now it will appreciate further. So here is the question. Should he sell the land and pay off the loan or not? Whoever has karja on the head, if from that, you see, debt, if it is used for speculative purpose, is out of question. That is not we talk about. If the debt which is used for private consumption, you buy a yacht or you buy a helicopter, that's your choice. It's not we are talking about. But money borrowed to invest in business, money borrowed to invest in asset which is going to grow, then we have to see liability compared with the assets. With this, you have a choice to sell off the asset and return the money. Now he is not ready. So here is the third principle. If your expected appreciation is higher than the interest, retain. If your expected appreciation is less than the interest, better sell the land and repay money. Now this expected appreciation, how to calculate? So traditional business people, they don't have Excel and all these things. So we have a thumb rule. There is a rule which first I will explain you the effect and then I'll explain you the rule. If today your land and building is 24 crores, are you expecting it to double in next 4 years? That is, by next 4 years, it will become 48 crores. He said, no way. Okay. In that case, if the property doubles in 4 years, then rate of appreciation is 18%. Okay. You are not expecting it to return in double in 4 years. Okay. Do you expect it to double in 6 years? No, not even 6 years. Now, if you are expecting it to double in 6 years, then the appreciation is 12%. Are you expecting it to double in 8 years? If so, then the rate of appreciation you are expecting is 9%. Now, how do we do all this? So there is a rule called Rule of 72. I'll show you on screen the Rule of 72. Divide 72 by the numbers of years to double and you will get the return. And divide 72 by the expected interest and you will get the number of years to double. So for example, if you are expecting your property to double in 2 years, then expected ROI is 36. 72 divided by 2. If you are expecting property to double in 3 years, then 72 divided by 3 is 24. And on the other hand, if you want a return of 12%, then 72 divided by 12, it means in 6 years, the property should double. If you want a return of 18%, then 72 divided by 18, it means in 4 years, the property is expected to double. Anyway, so this is what is something called simple thumb rule of how to calculate. So now, let's ourselves calculate. Supposing, I'll just take this forward. Should he sell the property and repay the loans or not? If his cost of borrowing is 15%, and if he expects the property value to double in less than 4 years, then 18% is the appreciation. And interest is only 15%. He should retain. On On the other end, if he's expecting the property is not likely to double in 5 years, it means the rate of appreciation that he is expecting is less than 14.4%, whereas interest is 15%. So he is borrowing at 15% and investing at 14.4%. So 15% से borrow करना, 14.4 में invest करना. So in money, understanding money is very, very important to compare the expected return, that is appreciation in case of property and many other things, versus the cost of borrowing. अभी ये rule तो simple हो गया. Maybe everybody would know this, but there is a little trick. Once upon a time, business people, family business people, they had different ways of managing business. So their point was that whatever is the profit from the business, I should take it out and invest somewhere. The logic was simple. Business में हाथ tight रहना चाहिए. In the business, our hand should be tight. If more money is available, you may become liberal in inventory, you may become liberal in collection and all the things. So traditional business people, because it's one man had to manage all the complex things, their system was to take out the money and invest somewhere. And where will they invest? They will invest in land. So many business people today are saying that actually speaking, whatever wealth they have, the major money is because of the appreciation in the land that they have got. They have got more money from that than the money that they have got from business. But let's understand, this is all fluke. This is not that happens all the time. And this is where I will just share with you one of the major mistakes that most of the people make all the time. This is called a mistake. Tendency to assume that the slope will remain constant. It means appreciation rate will remain same. So in the past 20 years, if the property has increased at say 10 times, I'm assuming that in next 10 years also it will increase 10 times. If in last 5 years the property has doubled, I'm assuming that in last 5 years also it will double. Unfortunately, that's not necessary that it will repeat in the future. From 2002 to 2010, whatever appreciation took place, it was once in a time. It's not that every time it will repeat like this. In fact, those who had invested in real estate in 70s and 70s, 80s, till 2002, there was virtually no appreciation, very nominal appreciation. So till 2002, property was not really a very good investment thing. But the date property turned out to be gold mine once that increase took place. But whether the same increase will come in future or not is your guess. So if you have a flat, invest karke rakha hai, and if that is, are you expecting it to double in next 4 years? Then you are expecting appreciation at 18%. Now, in business, if you are borrowing money at 18%, 15%, 13%, and you have invested that into a farmhouse, if you invested into a farmhouse, then you have to think, is farmhouse likely to double in next 6 years? If so, then the rate of appreciation is 12% per annum. So the expected appreciation and rate of interest has to be compared. This is where we start looking at the things. Again, as far as our friend is concerned, when he starts looking at it, he'll have to understand. So I give them this rule of 72. So we looked at retain and this. Now comes another thing. Rule number 1, compare the expected rate of return with the cost of borrowing. Even if you have not borrowed, even if it is your own fund. Then supposing I had my money and I have not borrowed and I have invested somewhere and I'm getting 10% return. Then cost of borrowing is 0 versus at least I'm getting 10%. 10% is better than 0. But there is a policy here, particularly in every business. The point is, if this money was not invested in farmhouse, what else I could have done with this money? And that is something called opportunity cost. एक फैक्ट्री है, फैक्ट्री में we have 300 tube lights. Now one energy consultant came and told us, change everything to LED light. Your payback will be 1 year. It means in 1 year, whatever you put now will come back. Now, what does it mean? Payback of 1 year means return on investment of 100%. But I am not doing because I don't have money. And where is my money? In farmhouse. So in farmhouse, I am expecting appreciation of 10%, and for that I am foregoing at the benefit of 100%. That is called opportunity cost. Every business has a phenomenal opportunity which they are not able to do because they don't have money. And whatever opportunity they are foregoing, in terms of payback, I would say anything which can give you investment, you invest in a machine and it will save you that much money within 1 year, that is called payback of less than a year, is 100% ROI, which you are foregoing because you don't have money and your money invested into things which are not giving us any return. So it's very, very important to understand opportunity cost of money, not actual cost of money. This is the cost of money side. Now, there is a second principle. Now, these are all things related to basics calculation, no rocket science. But unfortunately, I am not coming across many people doing this calculation. एक बार ऐसा हुआ, one person told me that there is an investment opportunity where you can invest 10 crore and get 12% return. I said, मेरे पास में 10 करोड़ है ही नहीं. I don't have 10 crore. So what I will do? He said, you don't worry. I'll help you to raise 10 crore at 9%. So what? But how will I repay? You don't worry. The property which we are buying at 10 crore, that will be the collateral. So what does it mean? 9% we will borrow, buy the property and lease it out, and 12% is the return we'll get. So on 10 crore, 3% net you will earn. Matlab 30 lakhs a year. I don't have to do anything. I was delighted. पहले तो बहुत डर लगा. देखो जिंदगी में कोई भी चीज पहली बार करते हो ना, बहुत डर लगता है. लेकिन एक बार हो गया ना, once done, and once the money came home, हाथ में 30 lakhs, kick आ गया. Guy got excited. I said, I want to do more. When I hunted more, I got property where I could get return of 15%. Wow, 9% पे लगाओ, 15% lower, 15 पे लगाओ. मैं लेने गया. The lender says, no, now I cannot give you at 9%. Now if you want 12%. So I borrowed at 12% and getting return of 15%, still 3%, another 30 lakhs. Delighted. I want to do more. When now I become expert in the field. As I search, I got a property which is giving me return of 18%. I went to borrow. Now they are giving me at 15%. No problem, still 3%, still 30 lakhs. So now I have borrowed 10 crore at 9%, 10 crore at 12%, 10 crore at 15%. I have deployed 10 crore at 12%, 10 crore at 15%, and 10 crore at 18%. Thoda jaldi ho gaya, but let's see on the screen. Total how much I have borrowed? 30 crore. What is my cost of borrowing? I did an average, and average is 12%. Good. Now my first principle was what? Compare the appreciation with the cost of borrowing. Average cost is 12%. मुझे return क्या मिल रहा है? तो I started looking at the other side. Expected appreciation 12, 15, 18. What is the expected appreciation? Average 15%. Very good. 12% borrowed, 15% applied. I was so happy earning 90 lakhs with this financial engineering. It's called structuring. And all those family business people who believe that hard work makes money, perhaps you are missing out on a very important point. Is money which makes money. And for that, you have to understand money very well. So here it is. I could borrow 30%, 30 crore. Average cost अभी हमने पहले ही देख लिया 12% है. I'm landing at 15%. तो मेरा स्ट्रक्चर है ना ऐसा कुछ हो गया. Total 30 crore I have borrowed. Total interest I am paying is 3.60 crore. Total 30 crore I have invested. Total appreciation I am getting 4.5. Every year, just sitting, relaxing, I am getting 90 lakhs. So delighted. Then one of the students pointed it to me. Sir, you are earning 90 lakhs. You should earn more in the same business. I am doing well. You can do better. How? And this is what it is. He told me, sell the property which is giving you 12% ROI. Sell it. But why? मैंने तो 9 में लिया है, मुझे 30. You sell it and repay the loan which is 15% interest. I said, so what will happen? He said, calculate. And I did this. And what did I get? Now my gain has increased to 1.2 crore. I sold one property, returned one loan, and my gain increased from 90 lakhs to 1.20. What is the key learning here? And this is a little complex. Even in class, I need to take a little longer time to understand because this is not a common sense. This is something most of the business people I have come across miss the point left, right, and center. Now, let's see. What is the principle? Average appreciation was higher than average interest. I was earning 90 lakhs. Brilliant. But I could have won 1.2 crores. So what went wrong? And here is the word. There is something called marginal. This word, जिन्होंने भी BCom किया ना, 11 standard से 10 बार class में आ गया. Whoever has done BCom, 10 times they've come across the word. But this word is so powerful in life. Everywhere this word is applied, but perhaps is not fully understood. It's called marginal. So marginal decision making, man, and this is something very unique, very, very difficult to grasp. The lowest rate of return is called marginal return. The lowest rate of return. And the highest cost of money is called marginal cost of money. When we talk about return, it is the lowest. It's called marginal rate of return. And when you talk about interest, it is the highest, which is called marginal cost of money. And the principle should not be expected rate of appreciation greater than interest. The principle should be marginal return should be greater than marginal cost. Now let's look at it here. The right side table shows my return on investment. What is my average return? 15%. Marginal return is 12%, the lowest return. Now table on the left hand side. What is my cost of money? Average 12%. But the marginal cost of money, the highest borrowing, 15%. So now my marginal return, 12%, is lower than my marginal interest, 15%. So I should sell it off. Complicated, but we will discuss that in business, day in, day out, this is important. So marginal return and marginal cost. Now, when you say cost, which cost? The one which I'm paying or one which I'm foregoing? If you say foregoing, then it is called opportunity cost. तो अगर आपके बिजनेस में इन्वेस्टमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटी है, where you have 3-year payback period, it means what? 72 divided by 3, it is 24. It means your marginal, your return, you are going to get 24%. And you are borrowing money at 14%, 15%, 18%. You should jump at it. Because marginal return has to be more than marginal cost. Now, this is what I explained. The highest opportunity foregone is marginal cost. So if we can expect 30% ROI in the next machinery that you buy, and we are not able to do it because our money is blocked in property, which is giving us 15% ROI, then the cost of money is that 30% foregone, not whatever interest rate that you borrow. It's not 12%, 15% that people talk. The cost of money is not the rate of borrowing. The cost of money is the opportunity that we are foregoing. And every business that I've come across, they tell me, if I have money, I can do so much. If I have money, I can do so much. If I have money, I can do so much. Then why are you not doing? Because I have no money. And where is your money? Blocked into things which I am holding because I hope one day it will give me value. And this is something, a great loss. Now, something I am holding because hoping that 1 year it will give me money is something that is called sunk cost. Every business has inventory. 5 crore की inventory है, 5 crore inventory, 2 crore is dead. It's not moving. If I want to sell it off, I'll get only 1 crore. Should I? No, no, no. Then it will be a loss of 1 crore. I bought shares at 300 rupees. Today the price is 150. Should I sell? Should I not sell? How? I bought at 300. Today is 150. It will be a loss. So what do you suggest? I should hold. एक दिन तो 300 आएगा, तभी बेचूंगा. This is a very, very big blunder people make because of not understanding money. The share which you bought at 300 and if the price is today at 150, it means you've already lost. Whether you sell or not sell is immaterial. Today it is worth 150 only. So your cost of purchase has nothing to do. The dead stock which I have, which in my book I am valuing at 2 crore. But whenever I sell, it will get me 1 crore only. It means I have already incurred a loss, whether I book or I don't book. But by hoping that one day this 1 crore may become 2 crore, hoping I am blocking my 1 crore there. And what am I losing? That 30% ROI which I could have got. And every business has this everywhere across. Our money is stuck when you look at the balance sheet. So we have money stuck here and there. And we have so much of opportunity. Now, some people that We believe in zero debt. We don't borrow only. So then there is something that I believe most of the businesses I have come across are actually borrowing at 24% without even knowing. You are borrowing at 24%. You are not even knowing it. 12, 14, all these things. Suppose you have housing loan at 8%, business loan at 13%, unsecured loan at 18%. What is your marginal cost of borrowing? 9, 13, 18. The highest is 18. So your marginal cost is 18. But if I can prove to you that actually you are borrowing at 24%, then what is your marginal cost of borrowing? 24%. So all the businesses left, right and center actually borrow at 24% without even knowing, because ये जो हमारा finance classification है ना, whatever classification we make in finance, we don't call this as a borrowing. It is actually a borrowing, but we don't call this as a borrowing. And you know, Reliance data, when it came up 6-8 months ago, when Credit Suisse gave a report that the borrowing of Reliance is $64 billion, they pointed out this borrowing. In the books of Reliance, it never appeared. In our books also, it doesn't appear, but we borrow. Now what, where from and how? So here it is. Whenever you buy material, actually speaking, you are borrowing money from your supplier. When I buy from you, I'm supposed to pay you now. But if I say I will give you after 3 months or after 2 months or after 1 month, supplier is not giving you credit. You are borrowing money from supplier. And generally, some of the businesses have this norm. Give immediate 2% cash discount. In Hindi, they say this. पैसा साथ में लेके बैठो 2% तो कम हो ही जाएगा. I had a friend in Future, and you know, Future is going through. I was discussing what was the different model between Big Bazaar and DMart. DMart had money in hand, so they could get the price lower. By taking money 1 month credit, businesses where 2% cash discount, actually what you are doing, you are foregoing 2%. Actually, you are paying 2% to get 1 month credit. Now, this is something that every business does. When I was discussing this, one of the students says, "Sir, in our business, there is no cash discount." But you know, we professors, we have some ego. So once I have made a statement, every business it is 24%, 2% cash discount. Now, how do I surrender? So I have to stretch myself. And when I stretch, I find out something else. You know, can take benefit of cash discount in others' business. चलिए ना, आपके business में 2% cash discount नहीं है, no problem. I have a friend who is a cement dealer. In his case, he gets 1 month credit. If he pays now, he will get 2% discount. Can I tell? I will pay on your behalf now. You give me after 1 month. 2% cash discount I get. If I want to share with him, okay, 0.5% you take, 1.5% I get. 18% anybody can get anytime by financing the trade credit. And this is something so important, generally never been in the radar, because nowhere in finance they teach that a small business person can also finance trade credit. And financing trade credit is 18 to 24% in any business. And if you are not doing it, it means that is your opportunity cost. It means that is your cost of borrowing. Now look at the trick that we are going to. A person who claims to be a zero debt company is actually borrowing at 24%. And where is our money? No, we have farmhouse. Every rupee matters. If you take your total assets, we used to do a very simple thing. We have 25 bank account. Either 25,000 pada, either 1 lakh pada, either 2 lakh pada. Everything is money idle. Club it together. Total family mein how many assets you have? What assets where? And in each one, what is the expected appreciation? Compare that with 18 to 24% which you can get. And then you start comparing. So anyway, this is little complex, but it is understanding complexity, you make money. So we talked about three things. Concept of marginal. There is nothing called average. It's always marginal. Second, there is nothing called actual cost. What matters is opportunity cost. And third, there is nothing called actual investment. What matters there is ignoring the sunk cost and the current value. So marginal, opportunity, and sunk cost. Very commonly discussed in all the class of costing. Either se aaya, either se bahar. Whereas in business, it is not as a joke that it was said that a good finance manager can make money just by managing money as much as the business is making itself. This is the trick, understanding of money. Lot of time goes into understanding business, understanding execution. Well, people we may or may not, but money, this concept of marginal opportunity and sunk cost in everything that we do, it goes. Just before I close, I give you this example. We bought one machine at 5 crore. This was the biggest ever machine purchase we had done. Our total investment in plant and machinery is 3 crore. And you imagine one machine of 5 crore. What a big thing. Installed the machine. We did puja. Sab log aa gaye. We celebrated. Excited about it. The day the machine started, power on, production started. And machine is working smoothly. So delighted that we bought this machine. 5 crore machine. And we are going to earn 2 crore a year just out of this machine. Brilliant investment. Now, very, very profitable business, very profitable investment, 5 crore investment, 2 crore per year. Superb. Then a salesman, this machine we imported from Japan, another guy came from Taiwan. He offered me a machine which will do exactly what this machine is doing. It means similar quality, similar run, similar production, everything at 1 crore. What should I do? 5 crore I have already invested. Very profitable business. I am making 2 crore out of it. Now I have got an offer. New another machine, 1 crore. Same thing. It means 2 crore per year. What do I do? Now, generally the people are saying that when you want to buy next machine, you will buy that 1 crore. Good, of course, that's good thing. Now, people know, we just don't give up like this. So we did little more comparison. The machine which is 5 crore is consuming electricity 20 lakh per month. It is earning up 2 crore of profit deta hai, even after this 20 lakhs per month. The machine which we could buy at 1 crore will consume electricity of 10 lakhs per month. So now 2 crore we were making, but now we will save money in electricity. How much? 10 lakh per month is the saving. And here the dilemma starts. I have this 5 crore invested just 1 week ago. Brilliant machine working very well, will give me profit of 2 crore. Super payback, 40% ROI. Brilliant business decision. And here I have got an offer within a week, 10 days. Another machine at 1 crore, same output, but power consumption cost will go down from 20 lakhs to 10 lakhs. Should I buy? Should I not buy? This is what is the issue. If you like, you can make your guess into chat just for putting yourself. Should I buy or should I not buy? If you want me to repeat, then you write that. I will also repeat. Should not. One reply. Sell the current and buy. Fantastic. Mere class mein this suggestion comes. Sell this 5 crore. So I went to the supplier. I said, I'm returning. He says, no return. Then I said, okay, I will sell outside. But the Taiwan guy, you know, he's moved also outside. So now nobody is ready to buy this at 5 crore. I can only sell this as a scrap, 50 lakhs. This is another input. Okay, then should buy. Okay, repeat. Rahul Agarwal says repeat. So I'm repeating once again. Machine I bought at 5 crore. Earning me profit of 2 crore. Power consumption is 20 lakhs per month. 3 sets of data. The new machine I can buy will cost me 1 crore. Will of course give me that profit of 2 crore plus my power consumption will come down only 10 lakhs. So power consumption will be 10 lakhs. Should I buy the new machine or not? Now, should buy because profit will increase by 1 crore. But then what do I do with the 5 crore machine? You know, some people say that buy the new machine. What do I do with 5 crore machine? If I sell, it will give me only 50 lakhs. Huh? And if you tell me scrap it, it's so easy for you to tell na, आपका पैसा थोड़ी जाता है. पैसा तो मेरा गया ना. 5 crore लगाने के बाद में, within 15 days you are telling me to scrap it. My heart is burning. I can't scrap. So somebody will say, उसको बाजू में रखो और 1 crore का मशीन ले लो. अरे 5 crore अभी डाला है. Profitable machine है. And you are telling me to buy another machine of 1 crore. Take a loan and buy. How to buy is immaterial. Saving of interest will be balanced by electricity, increased capacity. Buy only if you can sell output of 2 machines. No, sir, I cannot. Even my first machine is only 50% utilized. अगले 2 साल तक लगने वाला है इसको. Now, you try whatever you try. Let me tell you a simple thing. The reality is, finance people are supposed to be cold-blooded people. They don't get emotional. So the real prescription is, keep your 5 crore machine aside, buy a 1 crore machine and start producing from that. Now, what do I do with 5 crore machine? Do whatever it is. The 5 crore that you have invested in that is called sunk cost. It's gone. Today, you have a choice. Take a 1 crore machine and save 10 lakh per month. That is 1.2 crore where your payback is less than a year. That's it. Your 2 crore profit remains same. And whenever in any business, the payback is less than 1 year, blindly go ahead. And mark my words, the 2 next sentences are going to be more deadly. Whenever the payback is less than 1 year, blindly go ahead. The second sentence is, even if you are making losses, still, when payback is less than 1 year, jump at it. And second deadly sentence, the loan rate is 9%. Other people are using at 30%. My capacity has reached a peak. I can borrow only at 2.5% a month. That is 30% a year. Still, borrow at 30% and invest it because payback is less than a year means ROI is 100%. When your return is more than your cost, you should jump at it. When the payback is more than 5 years, forget about it. Business में करना ही नहीं चाहिए. And when it is in between, you and me, and we can discuss. So my suggestion is that for every business, you should have an ROI of 30 to 40% is a healthy ROI. 100% is a good ROI. 200% is really you are managing your business well. And this is how we should look at it, the things that can go on. This is why we say in business, if you know your product, work very hard, you become majdoori, you earn the labor charges. On the other hand, if you understand finance, if you understand money, concept of marginal, concept of opportunity, concept of sunk cost, then altogether lot of calculation starts changing. Just living with you this example of a guy, I think his name was Mulchandani. Young boy, maybe 20 years ago, he brought in this concept of exchange of TV. Exchange of TV. He brought a Japanese brand called Akai. His purchase cost was 100 and he was selling at 98. Nobody in the market can match him. But he was purchasing at 6 months credit and selling 98 at cash. And managing that itself was a huge float. So these are some of the concepts. Thank you.
What an awesome session, says Saurabh Agarwal. Mind blowing. Can we have some comments for the Guru, respected colleagues?
I will just tell one thing. No, anybody who has any financing decision, not now, even in future, then we can discuss, how different perspectives are there. And I can challenge, if each one can just make their balance sheet today, that is called consolidated balance sheet. And you know what is consolidated balance sheet, how it is made? I bought an office at 2 lakh. Today the value is 2 crore. I should look at ROI on what? 2 lakh or 2 crore? ROI has to be always on opportunity cost.
No,
मेरी नरीमान पॉइंट पे ऑफिस है, उसमें अकाउंट वाले बैठते हैं. अगर अकाउंट वाले बैठते ना, 2 करोड़ की आज अगर वहां पे वैल्यू है, तो actually speaking, I have bought an office at 2 crore so that my account people can sit. And so unfortunate, everybody is coming from Borivali and Kandivali, and my office is at Nariman Point. अरे मैं ऑफिस कांदीवली बोरीवली में कर दूंगा ना, लोगों को भी ट्रैवल हो जाएगा, मेरा कॉस्ट भी कम हो जाएगा. बट माय ऑफिस आई बॉट एट 2 lakh, so I am thinking it is 2 lakh. So there is something called realizable value. So when you make a consolidated all your list of assets from your balance sheet, write down your book value, whatever it is. Next column, write your realizable value. The friend in our starting example, his book value of the land and building was 8 crore only. And in fact, after depreciation of building or whatever, it had become 7 crore. It is when we looked at realizable value, then we realize it is 24 crore. So all your assets, write down. Next to it, realizable value. And then just look at it. Next 4 years, what is the value you are expecting from them? If it is double, then it is 18% ROI. So look at all the flats, all the property, all the dead stocks, all the dead machinery, and so many things that is around. Good finance people collect the cash which is scattered around. Thoda idhar hai, thoda idhar hai, thoda idhar hai, thoda idhar hai. Put all together. And then look at the realizable value. आज आपका म्यूचुअल फंड में इन्वेस्टमेंट है. Are you expecting it to double in next 4 years? You have a BSE index investment. Are you expecting it to double in 4 years? It means if it is 37,000 today, it should become 74,000 in next 4 years. If not, then you are not even getting 18% return. And in your business, what are you foregoing? So look at it from the everything that you have. Fixed deposit, what return? And we less understand. Marginal rate of return is what? The lowest return that you are getting is called your marginal return. Cost wise is highest. So if you have money in fixed deposit at 4%, 6%, you are borrowing in your CC at 12%. I can just show you on paper how much money are we burning just because we don't look at cash. I get in our class, note deta. Now to these students, I will say lighter hai kya? No student will like to offer me a lighter. Ijjat ka sawal hai na. But then finally thoda mood low ho jata hai, somebody offers a lighter. Then I say, you hold this 500 rupee note and burn it. Tera kidhar hai? Nahi sir, how can I burn? I said, tera kidhar uska hai na. Chalta hai, tera kya jata hai? Nahi sir, but how can I burn 500 rupee note? Now, if you and me cannot burn 500 rupee note, even if it is somebody else's, by not paying attention to this marginal cost, opportunity and sunk cost, actually, we are burning money left, right and center. This is a little bit of business's money.
I think spellbound again today. Harish sir says super points. I wish everyone understood this. Amazing. One more colleague says seeing the unseen. Awesome sir. Fantastic, says Nikhil sir. An absolute eye opener, says the Shah family. Okay, Ketan sir and Manas Bete. I would like to end by saying that, Parimal sir is my guru. I'm blessed. So I always say I'm blessed that, I've met Parimal sir. He has guided me throughout. He's such a boss that he helps you personally with knowledge. One concept he explains 3 times. So this same thing, I've heard this earlier also. Today again, I hear it. It's with a different, different example. Nikhil sir says he's the guru of all gurus. Anjay ji is also there. One very important thing about this definition of guru, which Parimal says this extremely important, right? Yes, here is Ajay Biyani ji's response for you, sir. Wonderful session. And sir, he's an absolute doer. Ajay Biyani, sir, Carves and Leaves, you should visit. I've known him just about 20 days back. Amazing. Like you would love him, right? For the way Ajay Biyani, sir, thinks and does things on the ground. So Parimal, sir, one thing about Parimal, sir, is he's a true guru because he says, he shows alternatives. Today, you could say he showed you an alternative way of doing things. He normally likes, many of us, right, including me, we are guilty of being the sage on the stage. Like, we impart knowledge to everybody. Sir says, no. That is not what a guru is supposed to be. You are supposed to be a guide on the side. Don't be a sage on the stage as if you know everything. Right? And Parimal sir is saying this, he's listening to a very polite. He says, you all go and prescribe things. Who do you think you are? You're a professor. They are business people. Be a guide on the side. One more thing that Parimal sir does always is he arouses curiosity. That's again the definition of guru. I quote respected Mahesh Shetty sir, who talked to me about 3-4 years back. He had come to college. He met Parimal sir. And Mahesh Shetty sir of MT Educare said this gentleman, Anil, I'm very impressed. Just met him for 10 minutes. Mahesh sir had come for a guest lecture. Parimal sir finished his lecture. I was going with Mahesh sir into my class. And then Mahesh sir said something about Parimal sir. He said, oh, Anil, very good person, huh? Because he arouses curiosity. So maybe that 10 minutes, Mahesh sir also, Parimal sir said something which has aroused his curiosity. At SP Jain, we believe that, you should also do a post session. So there is a pre-plan and a post session. My humble request to all of you all is today you've got a new way of looking at things. KC Shetty sir, everybody, right? All of you all. Sir talked about some very important concepts. I have noted down around 56 points. I think what really came, and again I'm saying this, marginal, opportunity and sunk costs. These were 3 things sir kept repeating. Marginal, opportunity and sunk costs. Business is money. Please look at this. Please look at your numbers again in that light. And I conclude with a remark from Amit Mittalji. Real eye-opener. Never understood this concept with such a clarity. Thank you, Parimal sir. Great teaching from a great guru. Thank you again, sir. I am honored and blessed is all I can say. Namaskar to you. Namaskar.
Thank you. Namaskar.